Lou and Don. Please like, subscribe, and share.
To kill on the rocks.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Tell Your Truth with Lou and Don. And of course, we got Princess with us hanging out. We got to change this up so that we make sure there's Princess Lou and Don, but we'll fix that. So tonight, I'm gonna tell my truth. Since we expect other people to come on and tell their stories, tell their truth, I'm gonna tell my truth tonight. So hopefully everybody is signing in and getting signed on. If this is your first time joining the show, thank you and welcome. Lou, you good?
What's up, everybody? Lou here. I'm good.
Good evening,
Let's get this started.
everybody. Good evening, everybody. One love. I hope everybody had a good day today.
What's your name?
Princess.
What's your name? Thank you.
Ooh. Calm it down. Calm it down. Calm it down. Calm it down, Holly. I already know
All
how
right. I
you
just
get
wanted to know
down.
who you
Calm
were on
it
this.
down.
So y'all know she is the female member of our cast. So that's it.
So normally when I speak about my past,
Well, let's do this. Hold up, Don. Hold up, Don. Can I segue this?
go.
So I've known Don for about 15, 20 years. You know, he's told me some extraordinary things about himself, things he's been through in life and everything. You know, some things that like, he went through some things, but yet he's still here with us and he's on a positive tip. So tonight we're gonna let him go ahead and do his thing and see what we can do. Go ahead, Don.
All right. So normally, if you're not a close friend of mine, I don't really speak about my past. Just because who I am today, most people won't understand who I was yesterday. But I'm gonna start off with this, and this is for those who are checking out the show, who have children. If you let your children go out without an identity of their own, I promise you, the streets will find their identity and make it for them. That's the biggest takeaway I want everybody to take from this tonight, because there was a time when I didn't know who I was or who I wanted to be. All I knew was I wanted to be liked and respected. Then after a while, I gave up on liked and I just wanted to be respected. So I'm gonna take it back, but not too far back because I don't want to bore nobody. When I was younger, I was a good kid, stayed out of trouble, but I wasn't liked or respected. Or I was liked but not respected. As I got older, and of course, women played a large part in it because most of the things I've done messed up in my life involve women. And I wanted to appeal to that female crowd. And I'm watching the older guys that are around me because I always hung out with older dudes. And I watched them, and they would disrespect women. They would speak how they want to women, but they would always get what they wanted out of women. And here I am being the nice, gentle, talk nice to the women and getting absolutely nothing. So as I got older, probably towards my early teens, I figured, what the hell? Like, if I'm not getting any respect or any love the way I want, being nice, it's not going to hurt me if I just be like everybody else and treat women, and I guess, pardon the expression, but treat women like shit and see where that gets me. So I started doing things that was contrary to my personality. I started selling drugs. I became a hustler. And I totally changed who I was as a person just for the sake of appealing to not only my peers and the older guys, but also the women. And there has been plenty of times throughout the course of that which I almost lost my freedom or lost my life. So fast forward, I grow up and I start to realize that all of those things are not beneficial to me. It's not going to benefit me in the long run. So what I did, I ended up turning my life back around because I was lucky enough not to catch a felony and not to become somebody's statistic in a graveyard. So, like I said, the biggest thing I want everybody to take away from everything that you hear tonight is when your children leave the house, don't let the streets define who they are. Help them find who they are before they leave home or before they get in the street. Otherwise, the streets will tell them exactly who they are, when they're going to succeed, and when they're going to fail. And I'm sure Holly got a lot of questions because there was a time when I got my life together and I joined the same side of the tracks as Lou. And for me, it was a lot better. But I almost didn't get that opportunity on several occasions. So what you got, Lou?
Let me ask you a question. So, at what age were you when you were just like, did you start just like being out there, just being reckless?
Man, 13 years old. I used to get paid $1,000 a week to watch out for the police outside the drug spot. So I'm making more money than my parents at 13. This is $1,000 a week back in 92, 91, 92.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, no, 90, 89, 90. So I'm going to my parents asking them, I want certain things and they can't give it to me. They raising 4 kids. And for them, it was like, okay, you're just a portion of the cog. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got 4 kids to raise. So your wants, your desires, your needs that the streets is telling you that you have to have is not that important. So at 13 is when I really got in the game and getting that taste of money, bro. Like getting that when people say that the money is just as addictive as being on the drugs, that ain't a lie, bro. So yeah, about 13, 14, 15 is when I got serious.
Oh, but my thing is that you did all of this just to try to fit in.
Just to fit in. Because I didn't know who I was.
Okay, because my next question was that you did not feel like you were a leader.
Right.
At that age that you were doing this, you more so of a follower.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When I would go around, like I said, I always hung around with older dudes because I wanted that experience. I wanted them to teach me something. And
so at that time, they was not teaching you anything. They were just telling you just to go with the flow, or I mean,
what I wanted them to teach me was how to grow up and be responsible. What they decided to teach me was how to get money, how to be illegal, and that's not what I planned on getting from hanging out with them. I just planned on, I'm gonna be around older guys. They're gonna teach me about women. They're gonna teach me about how to be a man. But
at that age, it was something completely different at that age and at that time frame. That in order for you to get women, you had to do what you had to do because at that time, that's all women was looking for. Well, I'm not even gonna say at that time because it's still that time now. Is that that's all that some women's looking for is just about their money, not about the person, but about money.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and when I'm sitting there and like I would go on, I guess, quote unquote dates with young ladies, and I'd be like, I'm taking care of everything, don't worry, I got you. And I watched the older guys like, no, that's not how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Give them nothing, treat them like shit, and they'll love you forever. And I'm like, is that right? Like, that's got to be the wrong way to look at things. But I'm
You're
watching
gonna
them.
get exactly what you asked for.
Yep.
If you're gonna go ahead and get that money and look for some, see, when you get that money, that's exactly what you're gonna gravitate to, is the ones that's gonna want your money, not the ones that treat you as the man that you should be, but about
Right.
your pockets. And the moment that they come up short, that's when they're gonna come up short.
Exactly. And even in times when I would blow all my money, because I'm 13, 14 years old. Like, to me, it's like you get it, you spend it. And when I would come up short on having the money now, then so leaves the young ladies, so leaves the guys, because I don't have what I had the day before. So that meant I had to work harder. I had to get out there and hustle harder, just to keep up with not even the Joneses, but just the cats on the street.
And that's the Joneses.
Yeah, I bought my first car at 14. Didn't have a license, couldn't insure the car. I got some fake plates on the car and drove it around. Couldn't bring it home because I'm not supposed to have a car. Crashed the car, but the car became a part of my identity. So in order for me to keep my identity, I had to get the car fixed. So I bought the car for $4,500 back in '91. Crashed the car, and it cost me another $2,500 to get the car fixed, because it was a part of my identity. It was who everybody was used to seeing. Dodging cops, just having a car that I bought because I knew I wasn't supposed to be driving.
So we all came up. Me and you were close in age, Don. So you know, your circumstances were a little different, but in my household, there was no. It was one pair of used jeans, one pair of damaged, two pair of tennis to start school. Um, Go out there and get in some foolishness. That's your ass. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
feel what you're saying, because sometimes you just don't like, Levi's and used and damaged and Latigra shirts. You just want to just want to be accepted. But we young. You know what I'm saying? We young. We different. We boys. You supposed to be bop. You want. You like the girls. But I mean, but in the realization, when we going to high school. By the time we get to high school, you just pulling up in 20 turbo 300s. These grown men with pensions pulling up in high school. You know what I'm saying? So you feel like, there's no way you can compete with that between the jocks and the hustlers. I mean, the regular dude, but to me, like, you would consider square status. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the one thing that doesn't change for guys, unfortunately, is we're always searching for that status. We're always searching for, what can I do to put me above the game, so that even before I start speaking, someone's paying attention to me.
And it's all about schema labor pause.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you pull
The
up in something
power,
fresh,
the power of
looking
the
dope,
P. The power of the P.
Yes.
all for
Unfortunately.
the. Look, you spend 9 months trying to get out, and the rest of your life trying to get back in.
Exactly. I remember when, so 8th grade year, I was still getting ignored. I had to repeat the 8th grade because I stopped going to school because I was now hustling. But of course, I realized real quick I had to get back into school. But when I came back to school, now I got my own car. So I'm in 8th grade. I'm driving. I'm in 8th grade. I'm draped in jewelry. And I got all the attention that I was looking for. But at the same time, I got the attention that I didn't know was going to come with that. I've had cops follow me from my house all the way to my school through different precincts. So in New York, we call them precincts. I think you call them districts here, right? But they would follow me through different precincts just to see where I was going. And I would have to park down by the staff lot, get out and run into school real quick so that they didn't get to pull me over. I would get out of school, leave school a little bit early so I can get back in my car, pull it up in front of the school so everybody can see me in my car.
That's cool 90 shit.
Absolutely, especially that 300Z.
I ain't doing that. Nobody else.
Drop top.
I ain't never pulled up in front of school in a car. I pulled up in a bus. It was 72 of us on that bitch at all times.
Man, at 14, by this time I'm going on 15. Man, I drove to school every single day. I drove from school every single day. And now
wait a minute, Don. How is it that your parents don't know this? Is my question.
Because
the parents that I had, they will recognize if I've only had the same shirt on when I come.
I couldn't bring a tennis shoe in the house that they didn't recognize.
No, I used to. So at home, I was the good, listen to my parents, not catch an ass whipping today type of kid.
I was leave out getting all the ass whipping. I was the one
in the and you know how you got that one pair, like Holly, you know that one pair of jeans, your favorite pair of jeans.
Yeah.
So I would leave the house in those, go to my boy's house, change up clothes, throw on my jewelry, and head out. Because I had to park the car.
That sounds like a Biggie story.
Nah.
Sound like you was Biggie going up to the roof.
No. So before I got on and started hustling, I was just like Biggie. I would have to sew the Latigre emblem on my shirt so people would respect me. You know what I'm saying? When Biggie
that was
said,
me so job to put the Tigre shirt on, the Tigre sign on your shirt.
When Biggie said had to show the emblem, and if you want to see the inside, you run away from them so they can't look at the tag, and it's not Latigre. You know what I'm saying? That was me. That was me. I was that guy. You know, like when you struggle. So I came from only one parent in my household worked. My father didn't even allow my mother to work. You know what I'm saying? So he tried to hold it down for the whole family, 4 kids. Like I said, my wants and desires wasn't important. The wants and desires of putting food on the table was my father. Like that's all he's worried about.
Exactly. Roof over top of your head, food in your stomach, that anything else is
that's
irrelevant.
a luxury. That's a luxury.
Absolutely.
So I'm on now. I'm gangbanging. I'm hustling. And got picked up by the cops multiple times, but only by the grace of God, I got out of the situation without them having to call my parents. I got locked up one time for hitting a police officer. Because I thought somebody else was trying to grab me from behind while I was fighting. And the cop took me down to the precinct, threw away my ID, and ran me through the system.
What?
And because I was too young to be, they were supposed to call my parents. He threw my ID in the trash and said, "You 17." I was only 14. And
every time take you straight to juvie.
When the captain walked by and saw me and saw how old I looked, he pulled me out of the cage and he was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "I'm 14." And he's like, "Why are you in there?" I was like, "Well, the officer told me when he threw away my ID that's where I needed to go." Because he didn't want a lawsuit, he let me go without calling my parents. He was like, "You need to go home." So that was one time I got out of a jam. A week before I turned my life around, I was carrying around an unregistered
Hey,
firearm.
Don.
Yep.
We done skipped over some shit. So let's get in here. Let's get in the middle here. So
All right.
now you're out here getting money, doing things. Where's the schooling going? Where we going with the school?
So, like I said, the first year I was in 8th grade because I had to repeat. I stopped going, and I changed the phone number, the contact phone number at the school for them to call my parents. I changed it to my boy's house, and he would always catch the phone call in the morning because he wasn't going to school either. So he would catch the phone call that I skipped school. So that first year I got left back. I had to repeat 8th grade. But now when you repeat 8th grade, you can't dodge that. Huh?
How did you feel about that being held back?
Oh, I hated it. I hated it because now I'm hanging out. I'm in a class with people that are a year younger than me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, what the hell? And now my parents got to know because now I got to repeat the same grade. Now they know that I stopped going to school. And my mother was making up my bed one morning and found a gun underneath my mattress.
Oh.
And when I got home,
my last time in the house,
she lost it.
That boy.
She beat the hell out of me. My father got home, he beat the hell out of me. And their question was, why you got to walk around with a gun? I told them, yo, the streets are dangerous. Like, and then they beat the hell out of me again because my answer wasn't good enough for them. So then at that point, I just got to hide shit better. You know what I'm saying? I got to be more covert. Second time I had 8th grade, you know what I'm saying? I went to school every day because now I got everything I want. I got the jewelry. I can hustle after school. I got a car. I got to keep up the money. So I'm hustling after school.
And at no time your parents knew about none of this.
No, they didn't find out. My father found out about my hustling when I was 19, when I was getting ready to turn my life around, because I had $60,000 underneath my mattress that I had to wash because I couldn't put it in a bank account. So I had to go to my father and was like, yo, I need you to funnel this into your bank account. Now, this is when I'm getting my life together. What? I'm leaving New York. Man. I am going to school for law enforcement. So I can come clean now. Shit is about to get right.
So I ain't telling my father wouldn't have needed it, motherfucker, whatever. Get the fuck away from me and get out of my house.
Look, the type of mother that I have, I couldn't wear, like, if I came to the wrong, my stockings wasn't even right. She questioned, like, what's going on?
Nah, and my going down like that
not in line right. So it's no way that I could live that type of lifestyle without my mother noticing. My father, he was the protector. He was just like, no, she good. Mother, she said, her stockings was this way when she left the house. Now when she come back home, now her stockings twisted. What's going on?
They backwards. But in my house,
what's going on?
It was like,
my mother, she noticed everything. I couldn't come there. My hair was wrong at that time.
My mother was administrating the school system. So any school I went to, it was just like, he was in school. So if I missed school, I was done. It wasn't no, you ain't go to school today. Wasn't no fall. Like, they was, I'm done. I was there. I was there from all the way from middle school to high school.
So
get suspended. Yeah. Go sit in the office. See me up here later. Yeah.
When I was 15, my brother got killed. And at that point, he was the only guardrail that kept me from going off the cliff. Because he would always pull up on me, even when my parents didn't notice things, he would notice because he knew what the streets was like. So he would notice it. And he would fuck me up on a regular basis. Get your ass in school. What the hell are you doing? You gonna fail. When he got killed,
You did it.
all
You
the
did it.
guardrails was gone, and now I totally jumped off the cliff, and I am
The streets even harder.
yes, 10 times harder because the one person who could keep some kind of control over me was gone.
Gone.
My parents
Yeah.
couldn't control me. You know what I'm saying? My parents, they were just trying to survive. They were trying to keep the roof over their head. They got 4 kids. They got to be
Times mode.
and,
Yeah, good
and
times mode.
two daughters. The sons, it's like either y'all gonna succeed, or y'all gonna fail. But I got to make sure my daughters are good.
So where was your lineup with the kids? Were you like the third, the second, first, fourth?
I was a third. So me and my
Oh, yeah,
brother
they
was
had
in the
time for you.
middle. Yeah, my
They had time for
younger
you.
sister and my older sister was the most important. Me and my brothers, like, yo, at one point they was just like, we wash our hands. Like, whatever y'all gonna do, y'all gonna do.
Yeah, because they had to make sure that them girls was correct, making sure them girls didn't bring home no babies. So the guys, y'all
Exactly.
just like, y'all go head on, but we're gonna concentrate on these
That was
girls. So
our
y'all slipped through the
willy-nilly,
cracks.
Um,
which ain't a
so
good thing by a long shot.
so at 17, 18, I just stopped going to school. Like, I just stopped going. And the school ended up putting me out because I was messing up their attendance. I was fucking up their
Yep.
attendance. So they like, yo, just sign him out because it's not like he gonna come to school. Sign him out. And my father, I remember my father taking me to school, and he said, this is the worst mistake you're gonna make in your life. He said, but I don't have a choice now. My hands are tied. I gotta sign you out. He said, but you're gonna have to do something to make money or get your diploma because you're not gonna live in this house doing nothing.
Right? They washed their
Um,
hands of you at that point. So you really
yeah,
was a part of the streets.
exact, and even worse at this point. I went and got my barber's license because my father needed to see me leaving the house, going to somebody's job, doing something.
Somebody's trade school or something.
Right, I got to do something.
Absolutely.
So what I would do was, because most of the time I was at the barbershop, I was hustling. I wasn't cutting hair. Like, I would pay for my barber seat out of the money I was making hustling, just so I could have a place to go and say I was working. But I would, whatever money I made cutting hair, I would give it to my little sister. Hey, take this, put it under your mattress. This is for you. Take this. You know what I'm saying? This is for school. Because I had enough money in my mind.
Right.
Then the time I found out I had a child on the way. This was 19. And my daughter's mom, she came to me and told me she was pregnant. And I'm sitting in the room. I'm not even leaving the house at this point because I'm so distraught. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I have a child on the way now. I know what happened to my brother. You know what I'm saying? He got killed. And I know what happened to my friends. They end up in jail. So I'm like, do I want my daughter to visit my jail cell or my tombstone?
That part.
And neither one sounded like a good idea for me. And my dad came in the room, like his typical midweek yelling at me. I don't know what the hell you're gonna do with your life. You're leaving the house at 12 o'clock. You're out all hours of the night. What you gonna do with your life? I said, I'm going to school, man. I can't do this. I said, yo, I gotta go to school. I gotta get my life together. And he was like, yeah, I've heard this bullshit before. He was like, yeah, you've already said this before. You've already told me this story. And I was like, nah, in January, I'm leaving. I'm going to school. Because I couldn't even tell him at this point that I got a kid on the way, because in his eyes, it would have been like, you're failing not only you now, you about to fail a kid.
That kid, right?
You know what I'm saying? You about to fail your child. So I couldn't even tell him why I was getting my life together. So we get to the airport, and everybody else's parents are walking in. They're so proud of them, their kids, and you're gonna be great. My father took my suitcase out the trunk, put that shit on the sidewalk, and he said, "You ain't got nowhere to come back to, so you better make it."
Hold up.
And
They were
when I
silent.
tell you that was the biggest wake-up call of my life, because every time I wanted to quit, every time I wanted to give up, every time I wanted to say fuck it, because I'm talking to my boys back home on the corner, I'm talking to them on the payphone, and they like,
They
yo,
telling you fuck all that.
yeah, they're
So
like,
you
yo,
fuck
fuck
all
that
that.
shit, yo, come
Fuck that
home.
shit. Come on back. Come on back.
And the only thing that kept echoing in the back of my head was, you don't have nowhere to go back to. Where are you going back to? You don't have a place to go back to. Your father said this is it. So I get to school January. My daughter's born in May. I called my father. I said, yo, I got to come home. And he was like, oh, you quitting again? And I was like, no, I'm staying in school. I got to come home. My daughter was born. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, yo, I got a daughter. You know what I'm saying? My daughter was born yesterday. I got to come back home. I got to see my child. And he's like, you bullshit. You just coming back up here to quit again. And I was like, no, I have a daughter, Dad. You know what I'm saying? I got to come home and see my child. So he's like, all right. I get on the plane. I come back home. My father picks me up from the airport. He's like, before we go anywhere, we got to see this child you're talking about. So, because he's thinking I'm trying to get back in the house so I can quit again, so I can give up on another situation. I said, nah, we got to go straight from the airport to the hospital. I got to see my child. So me, him, my little sister, we go over to the hospital. And now he's sitting there baffled. Like, why didn't you tell me you had a child on the way? Because his thought process was, I could have got things in order for your child before your child was born. And I'm like, if I told you, you'd have said I was just failing again. So I kept it to myself. So I get to the hospital. I hold my daughter. And now I am energized to do right. Because now I have somebody who's going to be dependent on me for the rest of my life. And we leave the hospital. My dad is cracking his jokes. He's like, you lucky she looked like us. So now he's got all my money in his bank account that I've been pension off of. Because now it's one thing to go from making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a week to being in school and you ain't making nothing. So I'm asking, hey, yo, Dad, send me $1,000 so I can party this week. Hey, yo, Dad, send me some money so I can go to the mall and get me some shoes and stuff. The rest of my money, he spent all on my daughter. He did her cribs and all that stuff, the dress of the whole setup in her room, decorated her whole thing. So I called him one day and I'm like, yo, I need you to send me like $500. I'm about to go to the mall this weekend. He's like, you ain't got no more money. I was like, yo, Dad, I gave you 60 grand. What do you mean I don't have no more money? He's like, you ain't got no more money. Your money gone. And I'm like, but I get out of school next year. I need that dough to get me an apartment. I gotta get right. He's like, yeah, we'll figure that out. But your money spent, you spent it. When you calling me every week, 2-3 times a week, send me $1,000. You going to the mall, I'm going to the hotel, you going to the hotel, send me some money. He said, yeah, that was your money. That wasn't my money I was sending you. He's like, shit, I'm not gonna send you my money if I'm holding your money. So last little bit of money was my daughter. And then when I finally got out of school, getting ready to start my career path, there's nothing worse in this world than having to work 9 to 5 for a paycheck when you used to working 12 to 6 and having thousands of dollars. But yeah, like the reason I wanted to tell my story is because there's a lot of guys, young men out here who don't realize that the path is full of basically pitfalls. And if you're not willing to do legitimate work, I watched a lot. I buried a lot of friends. I watched a lot of friends who went to prison. Some of them, and I'm 52 now, and some of them are just getting out of prison last year, and they went in when they was 19 years old. So I really hope that if nothing else, because I talk about it as if it's fun and it's a great lifestyle, because at that time it was. But I had a guy pull out a gun and went to shoot me in the head, and the only thing that stopped it was his gun jam. Know what I'm saying? Like, that was I only made it through by God. And like today, like I went through the law enforcement path and did that for a while. You know what I'm saying? Now I my life is good. I don't have any felonies, but that could have went a totally different way. So that's my
in your process of going through these things that you had, everything in there was a life lesson. You know what I'm saying? So and that in the real world though, how many other people have done what you've done? And because the fast money is too easy.
It is.
That's the problem. It's too easy. It affords you things you aren't supposed to have before a certain age unless your parents was born wealthy. Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You go through school, you get a job. Maybe your mother, father give you a car, or maybe they give you a nice send off, or maybe they got a package for you to set you up on your own apartment or something like that when you first leave out the house. But the majority of us, we caught the bus until we bought our first car. Let's be clear here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we caught the bus. It wasn't nothing. We could memorize the bus lines all across the city and where we wanted to go, because guess what? The reality said no parents make money, but they ain't making enough money to take care of the car and us. That wasn't gonna happen. If the car was getting
Right.
bought, it was for one of them. That was you was going. Yeah, you gonna hop in with your friends. You gonna get that bus, and Uber is the biggest thing out there. Imagine if we had Uber, then we'd be all over the world.
Oh my God! If I'd have had Uber, I wouldn't have had to
Yeah, we
buy a
had
damn
Uber back
car.
then.
Shit.
Yeah, it'd be
Wouldn't have
like,
had that
I
much money though
mean,
either. For dealing with that
yeah, but
Uber.
they did, and I think the Uber has handicapped the kids of the day too, because a lot of kids won't go out and get their license because everything is Uber. Oh,
Man,
I
as
ain't
soon
got to
as I
get my
could get
license.
my
I just
license,
like, oh,
dude, I
And then
remember
I had
another thing
my
they
mine,
don't
Jay. I get
know,
it.
they don't know math either.
yeah,
Because if you sitting there
Mm-mm.
using Uber, you might as well do a car payment.
yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
multiply that times four times a week, $35 a day times 4 times, 5 days a
Uh,
week times 4.
That's a car note.
anytime that I had to leave my vehicle somewhere and then I gotta go back and go pick it up, that's $100. Just say
Mm.
get me home and come back and come get me. That's $100. You might go ahead and get yourself a Bentley. Hello,
Right. Hell yeah.
Half the
because you
gas
most
right now, hundred
definitely
dollars.
got it.
Like we're all about the same age. Think about
No, 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 no. Princess is a hop.
Say what? Watch your mouth. What you say?
what'd you say?
Princess is a hopper. Princess is a hopper, yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah,
watch your
baby.
mouth.
Did she?
Like I said, watch your mouth.
What president you
Like I said, watch
what,
your
about
mouth.
45? About 40, 45?
46.
Okay, okay, okay.
But it was no there go Uber and Lyft around. It was to that
Hell no.
M1, M3, M5, M9, 77 bus line. because I don't know nothing about this limelight, none of that, whatever they got going on. I have no idea. I said I probably wound up down in Annapolis if I had to catch a bus to Mondawmin. I don't know.
But listen, there's so many colors out here. And you be lost in the stars. I hate been out walking. Be like, boy, I'm gonna walk over there. Because I probably get
That
that
part.
faster because I should have just turned around in the bus line. Just be
Yeah,
all
from the
messed up.
time I was 14, I very rarely was on the bus or the train, except when I
In
tried
New
to
York,
go to
they
college
connected by a
in New
train.
York. I went to college in New York. That was the second time I dropped out because I went to college in New York. There was a school called Interboro where you can go to school, and as long as you achieve your associate's degree, they give you your GED and your associates. So I used to have to walk past my car to go get on the train because my school was in Manhattan and I couldn't park in Manhattan.
Still can't.
Still can't. So
and hell no, not now anyway.
You won't want to.
I've watched so many of my friends lose their life. I got a good friend of mine who was shot 13 times in his mother's apartment while his sister was upstairs in the house. I got friends.
Wait a minute.
Just
She
getting.
was in an apartment. But you got upstairs in the apartment.
So the apartment buildings that I grew up in, it was a duplex. So either your bedrooms was upstairs in the apartment or your bedrooms was downstairs. So every other apartment, the bedrooms alternated, upstairs or downstairs. And his sister was in the apartment, and she heard the gunshots, but she couldn't do nothing. And this was before cell phones, so it ain't like she could pick up the cell phone and call the police. She had to wait till the gunshot stopped, and when the gunshot stopped, her brother was dead. I got 2 or 3 friends who reached out to me last year, and they just finished doing a bid, and they got locked up at 20. They missed an entire internet phase. Like they hit me up on Facebook talking about, yo, I'm just on Facebook now. And I'm like, dude, I've been on Facebook for years. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is not new to me.
But you know, Don, time stops for them and son.
Yeah. But even now, like the dudes in jail are getting cell phones because they get snuck in by the officers. And they on Instagram, but that wasn't always the case.
That shit is crazy. That day is crazy.
And it definitely ain't the Fed. And I had all my boys that got locked up did federal time. And you know, federal time is day for day, so it's no parole, no probation. So you got to finish out your time. So when they got 30 years, they had to do 30 years.
Unless they gave it back.
So
in some cases they can give it back.
Like you got a son, I got sons. And I try to tell my sons all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep on the straight and narrow path. It may seem like you a square or people might call you a nerd, but guess what? The nerds are the ones that are running the companies now that I made fun of when I was young. You know what I'm saying?
And really, bro, they not even nerds no more. Really.
Right. They the cool ones now. They the ones that's cool now. They drive the Bentleys and the Benzes.
I know y'all saw Return of the Revenge of the Nerds.
They shit. Them motherfuckers driving a nice car. They got the nice house.
Indeed.
And the ones that
and the women.
The women. Some of them 2 or 3 that know about each other because they got money like that. Yeah,
those
when I
the
was
good
younger,
guys.
I picked on them. And I used to be a good guy, and I could have had it all.
And they'll tell
But
you
I
right now,
had to
you
go the
should have
rough
kept
path.
your own pen. You should have kept your own pen.
So yeah, I know we
I don't know what they called it, but I know if I didn't pass the grades I was supposed to, supposed to pass. It was hell in my house. So guess what? Call me a freaking nerd. I had to keep them grades to a certain point. I don't know about y'all, but Monday through Friday, there was no outside. There was school and there was home.
Shit.
And
When I
now
tell you,
day
I used
school was
to.
out, yeah, but Monday through Friday, no, you in the house. You ain't coming out.
At 16, 17 years old, I was leaving home on Monday, coming back home on Friday.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
it'd have been
Look,
an
I was
MGK.
look, let me tell you something real good. That I was such one of those type of kids that my mother used to tell me in August. Tell your friends you see him next summer.
Oh shit.
Right. They punished for a
I'm
whole summer
dead
before,
serious.
yeah.
That's why I said I don't want no kids. I don't want no kids. I said because my mother told me, she said, "Yup, you see your friends out there. Time you see them next summer." So my mother,
And Princess,
I was punished so daggone much. My mother, she was like, "She doing sitting in your room. It's a nice day." I said, "I'm punished." She forgot.
Princess, my mother punished me on the last day of school. I didn't come out. My first day outside was the first day of school.
Damn.
No, my mother, she wasn't playing. By the time I came home from the last day of school, my suitcase was packed for 3 months. A month and a half, I was in Syracuse, New York. The other half, I was in Virginia. And then when I started going to Virginia, she had it packed the whole 3 months for New York. All that she did was send my aunt money. And then she come up there the last, like a week before I had to go to school with new clothes for me to go back home with. When she said,
So,
tell your
but that's
friends you
what.
see him, that's what she meant.
Nah. And when I tell my friends, I ain't saying I done fucked up for the summer. Like, yeah, I'm looking out the window like, I wish I could go outside. If that's what jail is, man, fuck. No
Let me tell you.
TV.
Look,
All I
I
had
was
was
in my
Oh,
room, no TV, no speaker, no stereo, no nothing. My aunts had to
all I had
beg
was
my
books.
mother, please let her off a punishment to enjoy her birthday at least. Because I even got punished during the winter break. They said, please let her off to enjoy her
I
birthday.
got a whole ass whipping on my birthday. Shit, I think
Look,
it was
my
like my
mother, she
sixth or
let me
seventh. I
enjoy
couldn't
my
even sit
birthday. I
down at
was
the
back
party.
on punishment. Soon as midnight hit the next day, I was back on punishment. She said, oh, I ain't forget.
let me tell you
She
Well, they
said, you
don't
when
enjoyed
forget
your birthday.
shit.
That's
I hate
enough.
that shit.
That's why I said,
when I
I
knew
don't need
my
no kids. I
father
don't need no kids.
when I knew my father gave up on me, I had went up to Boston to hustle because you could make more money in Boston than you could in New York. I
Yeah,
went up
because it's
there.
further. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
speaking on it. Let me shut up.
So I went up there on Friday. I
Let
came
me
back
shut up. I'm
home the
speaking
next
on it. Let me
Friday.
shut up.
And my father was
How old
like,
were you
yo,
then, yo?
huh?
How old were you then?
17, 17, 18.
Oh, hell no. I'd have came back on. They might have moved. Shit. That would
My father said, yo,
shit.
can you at least make a phone call? Just let me know you're still alive. Because his hands was washed. He was like, fuck it. They had already bought my tombstone. I mean, my burial plot. They already bought that shit because my brother had got killed. So they was like, we're not gonna get caught off guard again. So they went ahead and bought my burial plot. They went ahead prepared for my departure.
What? And see, and during that time, they remember, bro, you gotta remember, there was high crime rate at that time with dealing with them
Yeah.
drugs and stuff like that. At that time, it was yes.
Like my parents was like, yo, we not gonna get caught off guard. So if you want to go out there
Wasn't
and
no
do
go
this,
for me back then.
let us go ahead and prepare for your departure. And when he told me that, I was just like, damn, he don't even care no more. Just give me a call. So I would go to the phone booth, and I would call collect, and I'd be like, yo, dad, I'm good, and hang up. Or I'll put change in the
Yeah.
phone to call and be like, yo, I'm okay. I'm up in Boston. Are you back home this weekend? But he had
Yeah.
pretty much
I
washed
came
his
back home. All
hands.
the locks would have been changed in that motherfucker.
But he knew if he did that, then I'm really to the streets.
So listen, this is gonna make sense, John. You making all this money. Why the fuck are you staying home anyway?
Because I was only 17. I couldn't get an apartment.
You ain't know enough of them old men out there to give you all that knowledge to get you a spot. One of your homeboys that was 18.
And also you know your safe space. You know when you can touch down at
You
home.
fucking grown, bro. No.
Nah,
You
yo,
grown. You out there in these streets carrying guns. You grown. Am I lying, Princess?
I still needed my
No,
safe
he
space,
grown,
bro.
ain't he?
I needed
He grown.
I needed to be able to
All
touch
the way
down at
grown.
home and go.
Get on out there and be a man.
Like it's like showing your ass grown.
When
You grown.
I
You
used
ain't
to get
grown
back
for real, but
home,
go on out there. You
and my
making
dad
man
would be
decisions,
like,
be a man, man.
my dad would literally ask me like, "How long are you in for?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll be home for the weekend." You know what I'm saying?
But just like that now, it's just like, well, what did my child do? Oh my goodness, my child's so good. It's just with all these new crimes going around with these YNs and everything,
Yeah,
colonels, and these parents, it's like, my baby, no, your baby doing grown adult crimes out here.
yeah. And
And then back when you were doing your thing, your father was just like, okay, you want to be grown? Go ahead and be grown. But you ain't coming back in here.
yeah, when he put my shit on the curb and he said, "You ain't got nowhere
It's
to
a
come
wrap.
back to,"
It's a
it's a
wrap.
wrap. You done.
You on your
So
own. You on your
you can
own, my
quit.
boy.
You can quit again. But let me tell you, you ain't quitting. You're coming back here. Um, but yeah, that was the kick in the ass I needed. That was what I needed to
That
let
tough
me know.
love.
Yeah. And the thing was, my father always was tough love. And then after we lost my brother,
He was
he was
tougher
just
then.
like, well, no, the exact opposite, because he
We
didn't want
softened
to
up a
push
little.
me out to the streets. So he was a little softer trying to get me to stay home, because he felt like
Ah,
if he argued with me, I'm just gonna leave the house and be in the street. So he felt like, let me talk a little
understood.
softer
Understood.
now. Let me keep him in the house a little
Because I
longer.
lost one son. I ain't trying to lose another one to the streets.
Yeah. And
Got to.
So let's
my
reverse this.
mom
Let's
would give me money to prevent me from having to go out and do things in the streets to get money. So she would like slide me like $200, and she'd be like, "Here, put this in your pocket." And I'm sitting there going, I don't need that. I got a pocket full of money. Like, I don't need that money. But she wanted to prevent me from being in the streets. When I told my
Yep.
parents, when I moved down to Kentucky after I left school, and I told my parents, I'm not coming back home. I'm staying down in Kentucky. And I saw like a sigh of relief from my mom that I had never seen. Like the weight that was lifted off her shoulders, like, okay, he's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be okay.
Because he's home.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's
So
gonna be
she
all
got
right.
eyes on you.
No, this was the further
she
I
moved
was
to
away from New York, I moved to Kentucky. I
happy she
stayed in
was.
Kentucky and got me an apartment, got a nice job, and it was just like, cool. I ain't got to worry about him at night because he got to go to work every day to keep his apartment up. You know what I'm saying? He know it's different when you out on your
Let me
own.
ask let me ask you a question, Don.
Mhm.
And I'm put it out there. All right, let's flip it right here, right? Let's say, Don, and we know it all happens. Like parents can raise their kids how they want to. But I've never, I mean, I'm gonna do it. They overdo it sometimes with kids, as far as giving them material things. Like, 2 year olds with New Balance on and Nikes and everything and
Mhm.
Gucci and
That's why they got
all that,
bad
right?
feet. Try
You
right.
starting this at 2. You know what I'm saying? What happens? And this is the thing that I tell us that now. What happens when 15, 16, 17, he now wears a size 22 shoe
Right.
and he's big as you are, and the average price for a pair of J's 200. You want to keep him in Gucci pants. He wearing grown man pants though, so you want to keep him in all the latest fashion. Now he's 18. He ain't on your titty no more. He graduating from high school. But guess what he can't get? But guess what he ain't getting no more? The
Gucci.
fashion. You know what I'm saying? And then now he decides, well, mom ain't gonna give it to me. You know what he about to do? Jump into a game he knows nothing about. Because the only thing he
That was
wants
my
to do is
brother.
keep up with that
That was my.
fashion, to keep up with the trend.
So
And
my
it creates
brother.
an animal. It creates an animal on both ends. Like you don't have enough. I understand more from a person that don't like they got to share their tennis with their brother, or they got to share their jeans with their brother, and why they do certain things. Not condoning it, but I can understand it. But when you make a kid into that person, not knowing that, hey man, and you talk to him, look, this is what we can afford. This is what you man, you can get a pair of Jordans, or you can tell them like, yo, you can get these Jordans for 200, or like you remember this, for instance, go down to Foot Locker, they was running the 2 for sale. You can get 2 pair of tennis for $200. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nike, whatever. But she can give you 1 pair of tennis that's 200 that you're gonna wear with every outfit. You know, you feel what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you don't teach them that. You just keep feeding them, feeding them, and feeding them, feeding them. So when it goes down, when they get older, when you cut them off and you're not doing it no more, now they feel as though McDonald's ain't paying enough to get me what I want. So what's next?
So my brother, right, at 16, he started working. In New York, you can't really start working until you're 16. From the time he was 16 to the time he was 20, he always had a job. He would lie on his resume so good, you'd believe that nigga graduated from Harvard. You know what I'm saying? But he also realized now he's watching his younger brother come up. I had a car. He's the only one that knew I had a car. I had money. I used to give him money. And he's like, well, why the fuck am I going out here every day busting my ass for scraps and my little brother doing better than me? So he started selling drugs. And that was his downfall because he wasn't a street dude. I was. I was well known in the streets. He would go past everybody that was on the corner hustling, and he would get on the bus, go to work, get on the train, go to work, be a pretty boy. And then he decided, you know what? He took his last paycheck from the job he was working at the time, and he bought drugs to sell, and he got in the street. But when you're not known in the street, and you just gonna pop up on the corner talking about I'm about to sell drugs here, people get jealous real quick. And especially when you came from the financial district. He worked on Wall Street. So he knew how to turn $1 into $50, how to turn $50 into $200, how to turn 200 into 1,000. So he knew how to do that. So he came into the drug game with a different mentality. And they got jealous. The dude that killed my brother, me and him was cool. But they didn't know that was my brother because my brother wasn't in the streets. I was. The dude that shot and killed my brother, when he got out of prison, I ran into him and he's like, yo, we good? What's up? Not knowing you just coming home from doing a bid for killing my brother. But yeah, when you
How did you handle that?
I almost threw everything away because somebody who was a good friend and not so good friend at the same time handed me a gun and said, go ahead and take care of it. And luckily, a really good friend of mine who watched me grow up, he grabbed it and he said, you're not going to do that. He said, your brother left you with a reason to live. I need you to find that reason to live. Like I literally was getting ready to throw everything away in front of a group of people. It was a party. So everybody would have saw me. And a good friend of mine, and just last year, I actually reached back out to him and I was like, I don't know how much when you grabbed that gun out of my hand, how that saved my life, how that turned my entire life around. I said that was a moment that I will think about forever. Um, but so Holly, to answer your question, you gotta have a healthy balance with your kids. But that all goes with helping them to create a personality that's all their own. So even though they might see the dudes at school with the Jordans on, yeah, they got on, they may have on some basic Nikes, but teach them that it's better to have on basic Nikes and get your education than be chasing those Jordans for the rest of your life. We've got to teach our kids that there's a balance, that there is
Not to
a
become a statistic to
right,
the
because
streets.
it's so easy, especially these days. Everybody's got a gun and everybody's willing to pull it. Um,
Right.
I've heard stories from a couple of retired police officer friends that I know. How many times they rolled somebody over who's dead and their gun is up under them. So you had a gun and you still lost. Just because you got a gun don't make you the baddest thing on the streets. So
No, it does
that's my
not. No,
story.
it does not.
That's my truth, y'all. So for all the parents out there, grab your kids, hug them, pull them in close,
Tell them
teach
you
them a
love
different
them.
way.
That is
Tell
something.
them you love them
Exactly. Be
because
that. Be that tough love that they need.
yes, children want, desire, and need
And
guidance.
Crave
crave that
discipline.
attention.
They want to be guided. They may not think they want it.
Yes, they need it because they don't know it.
They don't know. I remember
And
when
especially
everything,
especially more today than anything else,
yeah,
because most parents nowadays are single parents, so they don't have that time because they working at 7 a to 7 p or 7 p to 7 a. So by the time their kids come home from school, they get ready to go to work.
yeah,
And so by the time they get off work, they're ready to take the kids to school. They not spending no time, but they doing this and able to provide for their children.
you
You know what I'm
you hit
saying?
the nail on the head with that. Like, so for all the fathers out there, for all the fathers out there, don't don't leave your child's mother to raise that kid on her own. Don't do it. And even if y'all can't be together, that's fine. Learn how to co-parent. Learn how to co-parent. Because when she's working hard and she can't be at home, you need to be able to step in and go, hey, I know your mother ain't home. Your homework done? And to the women out there, I don't care how
Push the
much
man
that
out.
dude may have wronged you. Don't push that man away from being that second parent in your child's life, because he may have
Because
did you wrong, but he has to be there for his kid, and not just financially. He's got to be there physically.
And emotionally.
mentally and emotionally.
Absolutely,
Because I don't care what anybody say about anything about it, but it takes two. I'm
it
sorry.
does.
Sorry, but not
It does.
sorry, but it does. Because the thing is that even if it's a female, like a girl that's getting raised by their mother, they still need a father because they will know how the way a man is supposed to treat them.
Yes,
They need to
absolutely.
know that love because most women, if they don't have it, then they look in
They go
outskirts, looking
looking
for
looking
somebody to
for it in
love
all the
them.
wrong places.
No,
Yep.
exactly. But I was fortunate enough because my parents this year, 49 years of marriage.
Yes. Yes.
49 years of marriage. And the thing is that my parents have had their trials and tribulations, most definitely. But my parents is the true definition of a marriage because they went through trials and tribulations, but they made it work. And then on the outlook of it, you would never know because they private.
Hey, but they
But
did
I'm
it.
trying to tell you that my parents taught me the true definition of a marriage because everything that I know about it now, when my parents got sick with COVID, I had no idea, but I had to know. So, with that being said, it's just like that, wow, y'all went through all of this and y'all still together. When nowadays that people give up and say, oh, you did this, you did this, you did that. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Yep.
But the thing is that when you walk down the aisle and you say, for better or for worse. So apparently it's not for better or for worse.
Right. It's just for better. It's only when things are going good.
It's always for the better. It's all for
Always
the
for the better.
better, but they not ready for the worst. And the worst means a lot of things. Like when you're sick, down and out, cheating, all of that.
Yeah.
But certain things I know that people cannot deal with. And I get that. First thing I cannot deal with lying and cheating. Everything else I
Mhm.
can deal with. But if you cheating, no. I'm gonna take you right over there to her house. And you gonna say, I'm gonna take you right over there to her house. So you can do all the things that you want to do with her because you still ain't gonna get that from me. I'm gonna take
Right.
you right on over there and I'm gonna give you papers in your hand and say, read that later. Cause when you do, the locks will be changed, the alarms will be changed. I'm getting new dogs, all that. So if you think you're
New
coming to
dog.
the house, new dogs, cane corsos. So when you come back to the house,
You ready to get two
no,
horses.
baby, it's done. It's done. Because behind the cane corsos, I'm right behind them. If you're not coming, no, you decided you made your bed. Lying and cheating is what I can't do.
We as men, we expect we expect the woman to forgive us and forgive us and forgive us, but we never
No, no,
realize
no. That we have a breaking
how
point.
much hurt we doing. Yeah, we put
Exactly.
women
We
through a
got a
lot of
breaking
hurt with
point.
that.
Because
Yeah.
the thing is that when we got that breaking point, and that's what we're gonna do on another podcast. Because when we got our breaking point, y'all gonna be hurt more than we are. Trust me. Cause we're gonna put on that black dress come Friday. We over your ass by Monday with the divorce papers on the table.
So, Princess, we need somebody. You need to bring somebody in.
Yeah, we gotta have
Or
somebody tell that truth
Yeah.
and tell that story. Tonight, y'all, tonight everybody heard my truth. I hope it helped and enlightened somebody. If you have a truth, if you have a story that you want to tell that you may not have ever told anybody, reach out to us. You can reach out to us on social media. Um, but we here to listen. We're not gonna judge. Well, we gonna try not to judge. Um,
no, we're not gonna judge.
we're not gonna
Cause bro,
judge.
what
We
we
won't
gonna
judge.
do?
No judge.
Cause bro, what
This
we
is
gonna
a
do? We
no
gonna put
judgment
our
zone.
drink. We gonna drink. When they say like, oh for
We gonna
real.
drink.
That's right.
We gonna smoke.
And
But
that's it. And that's all.
so next Monday we off. I have the pleasure and I have the honor of walking my daughter down the aisle next Sunday. She's getting married.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
next Monday we'll be
Congrats.
off, and
Oh,
that's
you gonna be a crying source.
oh, you know I am gonna be teared all up. I already know.
All the way up.
Um,
All the way up, bro. All the
but
way up. You walking your baby girl.
yes,
Yeah,
my
you gonna be
oldest,
tore up
yes.
like a whole punk. Like a whole
That's the
punk,
oldest,
So
right?
bro. But that's all
my
right.
oldest, yeah, my oldest man, my as a matter of fact, Wednesday's her birthday, and then she's getting married on Sunday. So
That's
she
a
did everything right.
blessing.
She did everything right,
That's a
and I'm gonna
blessing.
be there. And I
Ain't
told her there's nothing in
crying.
this world that'll keep me from getting there.
Ain't crying, bro. Ain't crying. Don't forget that part.
Oh,
You
and
left that part out, bro.
crying up a storm.
Look, that whole
Um,
ugly cry. Like, you better take care of my baby. You better take care of my baby. That whole ugly cry, bro.
so the Monday after next, tune back and hang out with us, kick it. hopefully somebody's willing to tell their story. But until then, be easy, folks. We love y'all. Peace.
But look,
Good
bro,
night,
we
y'all.
need to come together. We come up with some stories, y'all, because it's a
That's
whole lot to
right.
be told.
Absolutely.
Well, between us, we know people that might want to tell a story. You know what I'm saying? And, you know,
Oh,
everybody got a
between
point
us,
of
we got
view.
a whole lot of stories to be told. You feel me?
So
Hell
I
yeah.
can't tell my stories. They belong in Congress.
You know what? Punch to the face, motherfucker.
Later, people. We out.
Hey, love y'all. Love y'all, bros.
That's it.
Love you, sis.
All right.
It's time to tell your truth with Lou and Don. Please like, subscribe.